You're listening to the Naptime Empires podcast with my mom, Nikki Elledge Brown. Mom, your show's on.
Thanks, bud. I got it from here. Welcome to the Naptime Empires podcast, refreshingly honest conversations on the realities of parenthood and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Nikki Elledge Brown. Let's get started. Let's talk about deadlines. So I talked about breaking through resistance, and I was celebrating the fact that I was finally recording a podcast for the first time, even though I was like a week or so behind, but nobody probably even noticed, except for now the fact that I'm telling you about it. Either way, I had a lot of fun getting things done today, and I wanted to share my techniques with you because you can totally take them and tweak them and use them to your own benefit the next time that you're working on a deadline. So in episode 25, we talked about breaking through resistance, which was just getting started, right? Draw the dot. Thanks to Suze for that one. And then today we're taking it to the deadline. Like when you actually have something that you have a hard stop, you've got to get something done by this time, which today for me, as I'm recording this, we've got to leave for the airport in like 82 minutes. And so we're heading from Honolulu to Houston for a quick visit, check out our new house before we actually move here for real. And today, when I woke up, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to record some podcast intros so that I have a little bit of breathing room and I can still keep up my schedule for the next week at least. And I need to do 3 loads of laundry. I need to clean the house because I personally really like to clean the house before we leave so that when we come home, we have a nice clean house, like vacuum the floors, clean the countertops, the mirrors, all that kind of stuff, empty the trash, that kind of thing. Anyway, I knew I had all this stuff to do, but I was a little slow to start. And so I have various iMessage threads with friends and family, and one was with my sister Stacy, who I'm her only younger sister. There are 4 of us Elledge girls total. Anyway, and she's kind of like my boss in some ways, right? She's my big sister. So she was like, Nikki, because she is my like travel agent, and she always lets me know when it's time. She's checking in, holding me accountable or whatever. And she could tell I was totally just piddling around this morning because I was taking a screenshot, sending my mom a text about our 10-year Facebook friendiversary and all of that. And she was like, Nikki, no Facebook today. Don't make me hound you every hour. And then I was like, ding, that is a genius idea. I am going to use Facebook to hold me accountable to getting my ish done today. And so that's what I did. And it's been so much fun. Honestly, if you're in the Facebook group, the Naptime Empires Playground, you got to join it at naptimeempires.com/Facebook, and you can see this series of videos. I've done 6 of them so far, like for the last 6 hours for real, where they're like 2-minute, maybe 4-minute videos. I have ridiculous masks and filters on each one. And what I was doing was checking in. So I'd pop into the Facebook group and I was like, look, y'all, I need accountability. I need to get stuff done. And I need to like put some timelines on here throughout this day. Otherwise, the whole day just feels big and overwhelming. So I was breaking it into smaller chunks. So I was setting my kitchen timer on our stove for 60 minutes. And then I decided actually I would also add water. I have these like a big Tervis tumbler. I always have one with me filled with lemon water. And so I was like, I'm going to drink one of these every hour as well, because it's obviously hydration is important for life. It's especially important on travel days, especially on long haul travel days, like from Honolulu to Houston nonstop. So anyway, I decided to make this more fun and use Facebook to my advantage. So it was fun. The first one, I had like no makeup on in workout clothes because somehow I thought I was actually going to make time to work out today. And I know you always can. You're never too busy. Even the president, would exercise every day. Well, at least President Bush and Obama. Anyway, but working out was just not on my plan today, besides all my trips up and down the stairs with the laundry. So I decided to, as soon as I went live and did my first check-in, I was like, all right, I'm going to go get dressed. So I went and got dressed, took my own advice from episode 5, Red Lips and Dance Parties, got my jams. Thanks to Justin Bieber. I know I'm not the only one who accidentally fell in love with him listening to his music before realizing that it was actually Justin Bieber. As a grown-up. Anyway, he's really been showing up for me today, and I appreciate that. So I was listening to fun music, dance music, inspiring YouTube videos, and all of that, getting dressed, because then also I was kind of packing as well, right? Like able to pack up my flat iron and my makeup and my toiletries and all of that. And just little by little, I was going in and checking into the group. And it was funny, and everyone's laughing with me because I'm using these ridiculous masks. If you didn't know, by the way, that you can use masks and filters in your Facebook Lives, next time you go live in Facebook, just look up to the top right and you'll see a little magic wand icon and just click that. And then you'll see it's kind of like Snapchat filters, basically. And it's really fun and silly and whatever. And that's the whole point of why I wanted to record this for you today while it's fresh and while it's happening, because it really has made an otherwise daunting, overwhelming day feel a lot lighter, a lot more fun, and definitely a lot more productive. Like I've done almost everything that I needed to do on my list. I've let a few things go. I've opened my mind to possibilities. So just for an example, I was like, oh, I need to batch all of the podcast episodes that are going to go live while we're gone ahead of time. And then I was like, all right, Nikki, that ain't going to happen. So what can you do instead? Instead, I can order a simple travel microphone. I actually just ordered a Logitech headset. So we'll see how it goes. It should be at my parents' doorstep by the time you're listening to this, and I'll try it out. And we'll see. It might sound a little bit different, but that's okay. I just wanted a good enough, better than my headset, like iPhone headset audio quality. So anyway, I ordered that microphone, a travel microphone, so that I can still record podcasts even while I'm gone. Because otherwise I was putting all this pressure on myself to record it all today, everything for the next however long. And that doesn't have to be the case. So whenever you are up against a deadline, it forces you to get creative. Again, I'm not encouraging to rush the cortisol and always push ourselves to deadlines. Because again, as I talk about in the Breaking Through Resistance episode, as Susan Ferraro has helped me see, we really just need to focus on the pleasurable feeling that we get when we actually complete whatever the thing is, and replace that with the rush that we get whenever we're pushing it to the last minute. Neither here nor there for now. I'm up against a deadline because we got to roll out here very soon. And so anyway, just finding ways to make it more fun, finding ways to take the pressure off, be realistic about what you can actually do, come up with creative alternatives. It's going to help you out. So whatever the project is that you've got going on, I just wanted to encourage you. I know this is a quick episode because, as I said, I got to get going and keep packing us up. But I just want you to think about how can you make it more fun? Maybe for some people, sometimes I have a love-hate relationship with public accountability because then it makes me feel pressured to do something. But in this case, no, I literally need to do it. I literally needed to pack, and I needed to do some businessy things, and I needed to do some house things. And it was just fun to bring people along the journey with me, and also to encourage other people to do their own power hour, whether that's drinking a whole lot of water in that hour, whether that's getting a couple of things done that they just have been leaving, shuffling from to-do list day to day to day for too long now. I encourage you right now, as you're listening to this, to think about the next hour that you've got. What can you do if you really buckle down? I also really love, in addition to the music, which all that stuff worked fine for packing and cleaning and stuff, but when it was time to actually get show notes done, for example, and that was part of my must-do list today, I couldn't concentrate on my words if I was listening and subconsciously singing to words. And so I went to brain.fm. I bought myself a membership to that as my Black Friday gift to myself Thanksgiving last year. But brain.fm, and it just has these, tones and sounds that help you focus or relax or nap or whatever it is. So I'll leave a link to the show notes once I create the show notes for this episode, but you can just go to brain.fm and check it out. It's really cool. Anyway, those are my tips. Involve people, whether it is a Facebook group of yours or your customers or your clients, if that's relevant and something they would enjoy going along the journey with you, or whether that's an iMessage thread. Set a timer, whether it's for an hour or for 10 minutes or for 20 minutes. Obviously, well, I don't mean to say obviously because maybe you haven't heard of it, but there is such thing as the Pomodoro technique as well, and timers for that. But it's basically you work for 20 minutes, you give yourself a break, and then go on. So you set the timer. I feel like I'm even talking fast. So if you normally listen to me at 1.5 speed and this is just hard to understand, sorry about that. I'm in the zone. Anyway, I just wanted to share those tips. I wanted to invite you to come join me for the Diary of a Travel Day because I feel like it's funny to watch, and I share just some interesting personal insights and ahas as each hour passes. And I'll probably keep it up and or do it again just because it really is fun. So I challenge you to a power hour, as long as it's not the middle of the night right now while you're listening to this, and think about what is something you can do and how can you make it more fun, whether that's with friends, whether that's with music, whether that's with getting dressed before you actually attempt to do it, like whatever it is, what can you do? And really focus on how you're going to feel once it's all said and done. I know once we're rolling up to the airport and we're offloading all of our bags, like, too bad, so sad if we forgot something. We'll figure it out when we get to Texas. But it's just been a lot more fun today than it otherwise would have been. And that's why I wanted to share that experience with you. I hope it helps spark some ideas for ways that you can make your workday and your deadlines more fun and more enjoyable. Again, join me over in the playground for conversations on this and all of our other episodes. I can't believe we've already done 27 episodes. That officially means that I've done more quote-unquote blog posts on Naptime Empires in just a few months than I've done on Nikki Elledge Brown like any given year. That's intense and worth celebrating. So we will. In the meantime, I got to keep packing and I got to go live to report back on what I actually got done in this last hour. So I'll see you in the playground. Have an amazing day wherever you are. Talk soon.
This show may be over, but the conversation is just beginning. Head on over to naptimeempires.com/Facebook so you can join my free... Wait, did I say free? I mean priceless, rapidly growing community of Naptime Empire builders for deeper discussions, behind-the-scenes scoop, and of course, updates whenever I've got new stuff coming up for you. naptimeempires.com/Facebook. See you there.
See you next time. Thanks for listening.